Senhores, bom dia a todos, autoridades presentes. Bem-vindos à cerimônia de abertura do Centro de Inteligência Artificial, C4AI. Destacamos aqui a presença, já estão conosco, o professor Dr. Sylvio Canuto, pró-reitor de pesquisa da Universidade de São Paulo, professor Dr. Luiz Eugênio Mello, diretor científico da Fundação de Apoio à Pesquisa do Estado de São Paulo, neste ato representando o professor Dr. Marco Antônio Zago, presidente da FAPESP, Dr. Jeffrey Welser, vice-presidente de Ciência e Programas da Universidade da IBM, professor Dr. Fábio Cosman, diretor deste centro, Dr. Cláudio Pinhanes, vice-diretor do centro também. Destacamos agora e agradecemos às autoridades que registraram a sua presença antecipadamente ao cerimonial. Professora doutora Maria Aparecida de Andrade Moreira Machado, pró-reitora de Cultura e Extensão Universitária, professor Dr. Valmor Augusto Trícoli, presidente da Agência USP de Cooperação Acadêmica Nacional e Internacional, professor Dr. Jackson Cione Bittencourt, presidente da Agência USP de Gestão da Informação Acadêmica, professor Dr. Gerson Yukilton Manari, superintendente de Assistência Social, professor Dr. Andres Eduardo Aguirre Antunes, coordenador do Escritório de Saúde Mental, professora doutora Janina Onuc, diretora do Instituto de Relações Internacionais, professor doutor Caetano Giuliani, diretor do Instituto de Geociências, professor doutor André Lúcio Tom Costa, diretor da Faculdade de Economia, Administração e Contabilidade de Ribeirão Preto, professor Paulo Nelson Filho, diretor da Faculdade de Odontologia de Ribeirão Preto, professora doutora Ana Lúcia Duarte Lana, diretora da Faculdade de Arquitetura e Urbanismo, professora doutora Liede Lege Bariani Bernucci, diretora da Escola Politécnica da USP, professora doutora Maria Cristina Ferreira de Oliveira, diretora do Instituto de Ciências Matemáticas e de Computação, professor doutor Paulo Martins, diretor da Faculdade de Filosofia, Letras e Ciências Humanas, professora doutora Regina Zilit, diretora da Escola de Enfermagem, professor Dr. Gustavo Amarante Mendes, vice-diretor do Instituto de Biociências Biomédicas, professor Dr. Reinaldo Giudice, vice-diretor da Escola Politécnica, professora doutora Diana Gonçalves Vidal, diretora do Instituto de Estudos Brasileiros, professor Dr. Edson Wendland, diretor da Escola de Engenharia de São Carlos, professor Dr. Marcos Nogueira Martins, coordenador da Agência USP de Inovação, professor Dr. Guilherme Ariplonski, diretor do Instituto de Estudos Avançados, professor Dr. Amâncio Jorge Oliveira, vice-diretor do Museu Paulista, professor Dr. Sérgio de Albuquerque, prefeito do campus USP de Ribeirão Preto, professor Dr. Raimundo Soares de Azevedo Neto, prefeito do campus USP, Quadrilátero da Saúde e Direito, professor Dr. Vinícius Pedrazzi, vice-prefeito do campus USP de Ribeirão Preto, professora doutora Gessiane Porto, vice-coordenadora da Agência USP de Inovação. Gostaríamos aqui de registrar também, agradecer a presença e a audiência de todas as pessoas que estão acompanhando este evento pelo YouTube, da comunidade universitária, de todas as universidades, USP e do Brasil. Muito obrigada pela sua presença. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this online event where we celebrate the official start of the Center for Artificial Intelligence. The center is a partnership of the University of São Paulo, IBM, and FAPESP. Its goal is to advance the research in artificial intelligence and to transfer its results to society. Let me turn the presentation over to Professor Fábio Cosman, Director of the Center for Artificial Intelligence and professor at the Escola Politécnica of University of São Paulo. Thank you very much.
Hi, good morning to all. We're here today to share a number of positive thoughts about the C4AI, the Center for Artificial Intelligence, as it's now operating with a large group of researchers and collaborators. We hope to thank the key institutions and the key people who have made this center possible. The meeting will start with messages from our special guests representing the leadership of USP, IBM, and FAPESP. We will then have a virtual cutting the ribbon ceremony to officially mark the start of our operation. After that, we will have a second part with short presentations about our structure and our research agenda, as well as short messages from our associated institutions, ITA, PUC, and FEI. We will also describe our online presence and our website and our physical space that we expect to use as soon as possible. Okay. We are honored to receive in our ceremony several distinguished members of USP, IBM, and FAPESP. Sylvia has mentioned them, but I will repeat. We're happy to have the COO and Vice President of Impact Science of IBM Research, Dr. Kathryn Guarini, who will join, who is there now. We will have the President of the University of São Paulo, Professor Vahan Agopyan, who will join us later. We have the Scientific Director of FAPESP, Professor Luiz Eugênio Mello, representing Professor Marco Antônio Zago, President of FAPESP. Hi. We have the Provost for Research of the University of São Paulo, Professor Sylvio Roberto Scioli Canuto. Hi, Professor Sylvio. And we'll have the VP of Exploratory Science and University Programs of IBM Research, Dr. Jeffrey Welsner. Hi, Jeff. So welcome to all of you, and thank you for joining on this occasion. So let's start with some short speeches from our guests. If anyone in the audience would like to send questions, please include your questions in the chat, in the YouTube chat, indicate to whom they are addressed. We will forward these questions after the ceremony, okay? So let me give the online floor to Jeffrey Welsner. Dr. Jeff, please.
Thank you so much, Fabio. It's really my pleasure to be with you all virtually for this ribbon cutting ceremony. A very strange way, I think, for all of us to kick off with, I hope will be a really exciting partnership, though, going forward. As Fabio mentioned, I'm the Vice President of Exploratory Science and University Programs at IBM Research. I think most of you are aware that IBM still has a very large research organization. We're actually celebrating our 75th year. It started in New York in our TJ Watson Research Center, and we now have over 12 labs in 19 locations, including the one I sit at in San Jose, California, but of course also then in Brazil, both in Rio as well as Sao Paulo. So these labs do research really on all aspects of IT and really the future of computing, which is a large focus for us as we think about how we can continue to advance technology. That includes everything from artificial intelligence to quantum computing to hybrid cloud and infrastructure. And we look at really everything from literally new materials and devices. We have people in my lab in California that literally move individual atoms around to try to make new materials, all the way up through very large system infrastructures, exascale supercomputers, quantum computers, and then of course all the software algorithms on top. The databases, the middleware, and advanced AI, which is really an area that we do a lot of partnership with across the labs as well as across our university programs. And in my role as running university programs, what we're always looking for are ways to create new partnerships with universities that have unique skills in different fields that are important to us, but that also come from different areas around the world that have different sets of challenges and problems that they would like to apply computing to in the future. So I'm really excited about the new Center for AI there in Sao Paulo. It's the first of our AI Horizon Network centers to be in South America. We have some around across the US, one in Europe, and a couple in Asia, but this is our first in South America. So it's really a great opportunity for us to partner between our lab there and the university and FAPESP as well. The focus really will be on a variety of topics, as you'll see, around natural language, around how we can apply it for food safety or climate, lots of different areas where we think artificial intelligence can actually have a big impact. We also want to make sure it's well integrated into our full Horizon Network program. I also direct the MIT IBM Watson AI Lab in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and they're working on a project around languages and being able to help computers and AI understand languages that have less data available for training, including Portuguese. And that's one of the languages that we actually will be partnering between the new center there, Center for AI in Sao Paulo, and our lab up in Cambridge. So with that, I hope I gave you a quick overview of what we hope to get from this partnership. I'm really excited to have it get started. I can't wait till I can actually fly down there to visit in person. But for now, I'm looking forward to hearing from our fellow partners in the lab and learning more about what we're going to be doing in the lab when it kicks off shortly. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Let me then pass and give the online floor to Professor Sylvio. Professor, please.
Thank you, Fabio. Thank you very much. So let me salute Professor Vahan, who is not in the room yet, but he's coming. So good morning, Professor Luiz Eugênio Mello, Scientific Director of FAPESP, Dr. Ana Paula Cis, the General Manager of IBM for Latin America, Dr. Kathryn Guarini, COO and Vice President for Impact Science of the IBM Research, Dr. Jeffrey Welzer, Vice President for Exploratory Science and University Programs of the IBM Research. So good morning to all authorities present here, and good morning to my colleagues, good morning to everyone. So this is a moment of great joy. It is a project that becomes reality and therefore marks the start of the actions. An advanced center that's launched today, located at the University of São Paulo, and that is bound to give important contribution to the society. A modern society with new technologies and a future that's being carved today. We are officially starting the operations of the Center for Artificial Intelligence at the University of São Paulo with a partnership with the IBM and FAPESP. This is the outcome of an open call made by FAPESP with IBM, where the project related to this center was the winner. Soon after the present administration started with the leadership of Professor Vahan Agopyan, it was already clear that the area of artificial intelligence was blooming in the entire world. The University of São Paulo, for sure, had many groups who work in different topics of AI, but a concerted institutional effort was still in need. A center that could be an interinstitutional synergy, combining the excellence of our university and at the same time maintaining the individuality of the so many important groups already existing. It was possible to identify more than 100 research groups who work in some form of artificial intelligence. AI was clearly disseminated at the university. To organize this for devising the USP-FAPESP IBM project was only a small step on the strategy, but of course demanded organizational effort. And this was diligently taken by Professor Fábio Cosman. Together with a group of dedicated data scientists, they were able to put together this project. So I congratulate each and every one of them, and I thank them all. 5 segments important to our society are covered here, and the collaboration hand-to-hand with the IBM is a privilege. We truly thank FAPESP and IBM and all the many different colleagues that promptly joined to work on this now victorious effort. I also thank the members of the steering committee and the executive committee for accepting joining us in this effort, and also the Inova USP for hosting the center. I have to thank Professor Vahan Agopyan and Professor Antônio Hernandes for strong support. We are very proud to announce, together with FAPESP and IBM, an advanced center for artificial intelligence that will contribute to innovation, educate human talents, and will face many, many challenges of the modern society. So congratulations to you all, and thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Professor Sylvio. I will now pass the online floor, to Professor Luiz Eugênio Mello, please. Luiz.
Thank you, Fabio. Good morning, you all. Good morning, Jeff, Kathryn, Sylvio, as well as Fabio, whom I already mentioned. For FAPESP, this continuation of an agreement that was made in 2016. And that's quite an important ongoing effort for FAPESP, in the sense that partnerships with industry are always an important step to be developed, despite the strength that São Paulo State has in interacting with industry, this is still there is still much to do in this space. To that end, to initiate a partnership with IBM for developing a center on artificial intelligence was highly praised here at FAPESP. To have Professor Fabio Cosman and colleagues as the awardees of this grant, again, was quite a joy for us, given his track of activities in this area. We hope that the center, as mentioned by Jeff, really expands our notion, not only making Portuguese a more familiar language in this realm, but also on health activities, on testing new drugs and compounds, on whatever fields artificial intelligence may bring us. So it's a great joy to be here participating on this inaugurating event, and I would like to congratulate both USP and IBM for the initiative.
Okay, thanks, Professor Luiz. Let me then give the floor to Dr. Kathryn Guarini. Please, Kathryn.
Good morning. Thank you for including me in this event. I'm very pleased to be here to celebrate the opening of this Center for Artificial Intelligence. I serve as the Chief Operating Officer for IBM Research, and as you already heard from Jeff Welser, we at IBM are eager to partner with both the University of São Paulo and FAPESP to advance science and technology. But I'd share with you some additional areas of interest and opportunity. This year, there's a particular urgency to science. We all recognize that science matters more than ever, and it's critical to embrace the scientific rigor and processes where we're responding to the world's most complex challenges, be that global pandemics, climate change, and many more challenges facing the world and society. We know that science, scientific discovery plays an essential role. And new discoveries almost always rely on some aspect of the scientific method, the rigor of that process. And today we now have tools, including artificial intelligence, available to us to help accelerate the process of discovery. So this center continuing to advance the fundamentals of artificial intelligence, as well as applying that to close knowledge gaps, to create models, to generate hypotheses, to automate testing. All of this really allows a massive speed up in discovery, which we need now more than ever. At IBM Research, I lead an initiative we call Impact Science, which is all about applying advanced science and technology to address some of the world's most pressing problems. This includes areas of the future of health, where we're leveraging open platforms and secure data sharing to help humans live longer, healthier lives. We consider the future of work, where we explore how to prepare business and society to thrive in hybrid work environments like we're in right now, to anticipate and build the skills needed for the future. We're considering how to address the future of climate, where we're especially concerned about how to mitigate the catastrophic economic, environmental, and health implications of climate change. We're developing technologies for racial and social justice. And we're shaping the governance of science and technology by participating in the design of ethics, policy, and regulatory frameworks. All of these challenges are far too vast and complex for any one individual, any one organization to solve on its own. So to accelerate this discovery, to come up with outcomes that are meaningful and impactful, we absolutely believe in collaborative ecosystems like this very one we're announcing today. New models of public-private partnerships with a shared purpose, with common technology goals, will accelerate outcomes. This new center is an important example of a community of discovery, and it's very important to us at IBM to have boots on the ground collaborations that are attuned to different needs, requirements, and communities, bringing together a diversity of thoughts and approaches that can help achieve global solutions to existential threats. We're very excited and pleased to be a part of this new collaboration. I believe we share some very strong synergies, especially in the areas of the future of health, work, climate, and governance, and I look forward to an extended and fruitful partnership.
Well, thanks, Kathryn. So we're getting close to the end here. We will probably be joined later by the president of the University of São Paulo, who is with the governor now. But we will then close this ceremony by calling Professor Sylvio to represent the president. Professor Sylvio.
So, thank you again. Thank you very much, Fabio. It's very unfortunate that our president is now on the traffic between the palace of the governor and running to the University of São Paulo, but he's not got there yet. And he just called me over phone saying that the connection is not very good. So he will not be able to participate in the next coming minutes. So he asked me to stress 3 aspects. One is, of course, that he apologized for not being here. He thanks FAPESP, he thanks IBM. And he wanted me to stress 3 aspects. One is that this is an institutional initiative. In other words, many groups of the University of São Paulo are getting together in this Center for Artificial Intelligence. And this was an initiative that was led by our research office and under the guidance of Professor Vahan, Agopyan, of course, and that he is very proud that we have come to this point. And he's certainly very confident that the Center for Artificial Intelligence has a bright future. So on behalf of Professor Vahan Agopyan, now I have to thank you all and say that we are very happy to launch this Center for Artificial Intelligence and very confident in the collaboration with our partners and the success for this center. So thank you very much again.
All right, thanks. We must thank our speakers and the institutions they represent for their support. And now we will have some official remote cut the ribbon ceremony within the possibilities. So we have a short video for that. Okay, so we're done with this first part. Thanks for all. We will have a second part with the presentations, a presentation about the center. So let me just finish this thanking a number of individuals who have worked in the last 2 years to make the center a reality. From FAPESP, I would like to thank, first of all, Professor Brito Cruz, who was from the beginning thinking about this and supporting the idea. And from IBM, Luiz Mello, who also gave the first initial ideas and efforts in the direction of the center. I would like to thank from FAPESP, Patrícia Tedeschi, Roberto Marcon, Professor Roberto Marcones, and Professor Luiz Nunes. Thanks a lot. I'd like to thank from IBM, Alexandre Alves, Bruno Fleck, who will be speaking later, Lisa Mini, a very important person in this effort, Raquel Shebabi, Ho Shuo Kim, and Rita Shibata, in memoriam, unfortunately. And from USP, I would like to thank Cynthia Barcelos Lacerda, who helped a lot, Jairo Carlos Filho, who is the executive manager of the center, and Luiz Henrique Catalani, the director of Innova USP, who will be speaking later, and we will be representing the several directors of various units of the university who have contributed. In particular, I must thank the director of my unity, Professor Liedi, who helped a lot. So to all of them, thanks a lot. Thanks to everyone who participated in the center proposal. an effort which was organized by the Office of the Provost for Research, as Professor Sylvio explained already. This group, the office put together researchers with varied expertise from many units of the university. So thanks to all of them. And in addition, we thank participants from associate institutions, the Instituto Tecnológico de Aeronáutica, a Pontifícia Universidade Católica de São Paulo, e o Centro Universitário FEI. Those institutions will have their messages presented later, but thanks anyway. And so I would like to thank again all the distinguished members of USP, IBM, and FAPESP. Ask the audience for a virtual round of applause, and then we will go now to the second part. So we'll have a break, a short break now, to organize the presentation. Okay, thanks to all of you. Thanks a lot. So at this point, I will be joined by Claudio Pianis, who co-directs the center with me. He's the deputy director. Hi, Claudio. So we have a presentation about the mission and the structure of the center, which we would like to share with you. So I guess we can start. So we have the center with a key things that will appear in the next slide. Key pieces of information. So the Center for AI, as we call it, it carries out fundamental and applied AI research. Okay, and it seeks to propel breakthroughs in AI. That's the main goal. It congregates about 70 faculty from various institutions, several units of USP in particular. 10 of them are principal investigators. Okay, the level of support is about 8 million reais a year, 2 million of which come from IBM, 2 million from FAPESP, and 4 million from USP in kind. Okay. Just to give an idea, this first year we'll have 30 scholarships from all levels, from master to postdoc. Most of them are postdoc scholarships, in fact. We have selected a number of application areas to invest our resources. Environment, agriculture, healthcare, natural language processing, and labor policy are the main ones for the start. We will talk about them later. And we will have people working in several locations, but 2 of them are the main ones. There will be a headquarters office at the Nova USP building, which you see at the bottom, at the top right, and a space, a facility at the Institute of Mathematical Sciences and Computer in São Carlos, which you see at the bottom photo. So in the next slide, we'll have, you can see the mission and the vision of the center. Our mission is to produce advanced research in artificial intelligence in Brazil, to disseminate and debate its main results, to train students and professionals, and to transfer the technology to society. Our vision is to be a world-class center of excellence in artificial intelligence, an essential organization for the scientific community and the society as a whole in Brazil, in fact. Now, in the next slide, you see some information about the way the center is structured when it comes to leadership. We have an executive committee. It consists of myself as director and Claudio as deputy director. And then there is an outreach coordinator, who is Fernando Osorio from ICMC São Carlos, and an impact coordinator, Professor Glaucor Bix, which you also see in the picture. There is a steering committee, half and half, USP and IBM. From USP, we have Professor Marcos Nogueira Martins and Professor Moacir de Miranda Oliveira Jr., the first from physics and the second from management. From IBM, we have Lisa Amini, director of AI Horizons Network, and Bruno Flack, director of IBM Research Brazil. And then there is a strategy committee with a person from IBM and a person from USP. From IBM is Dr. Dario Gil, director of the whole IBM research effort. And from USP, Professor Sylvio Canuto, we'll have heard by now. In the next one, we have some information about 3 committees which will serve as advisory boards to us. There is a scientific committee. This is a committee required by FAPESP. It consists of international researchers. Will review our progress, will advise us in how to continue. There is an industry and society committee. This will be appointed by the executive committee. It consists of CEOs of Brazilian companies, government officials, civil society leaders. The idea here is to connect the center with society as a whole. And there will be a diversity and inclusion committee appointed as well by the executive committee. Will consist of diversity experts and activists. The idea is to advance the inclusion of underrepresented groups, such as women, maybe ethnic groups, from industry and academy. Okay, so this is the structure we envision. In the next slide, there will be some information about programs we have. I will give the floor to Claudio to explain, to say a bit about that. Claudio, please.
Okay, first of all, thank you for everyone for attending this live event. I'm here to talk about 2 additional programs the center have besides the main research activities. The first one is the outreach program. It's coordinated by me and Fernando Osorio. The idea is to have a program that promotes local and international talks, seminars, that helps the dissemination of AI technology and knowledge through different levels. First, to the scientific community. We also are looking into having AI education development for professionals in the area, especially for the higher levels of instructional materials. As part of the outreach program, we expected to do our share of promoting scientific diffusion. As Kathryn mentioned, science has never been more urgent, and in the case of the center, we'll be focused on spreading as much as correct and valuable information about AI. Also, we are going to work with press, and social media, but even more important, we'll establish programs that will try to bring AI to underrepresented communities in terms of industry and academy, especially activities for girls, young female researchers, Black students, and similar groups. We'll kick off the activities of the outreach program with a talk next week, October 2nd, 7 p.m. In Brazil. We invited David Cox, which is the director of the MIT IBM Watson Lab, to give a talk where he's going to cover his view of AI and incredible stuff they are doing there. Please, if you're interested, I really think it's a great opportunity to listen to one of our premier researchers. But how you get information about that, you can get from the website. We are opening our website today. It's there in English, in Portuguese. If you want to know also about events, you can follow us in LinkedIn. This is our group in LinkedIn. And also, we have a group in Facebook. You'll post our events, the opportunities, the interesting results of our research in those sites. And please feel free to contact us through the website and through the emails we have there. The other side of that is also we have a program that looks into how we can have a good impact on the society and in the industry in Brazil. And for that, we have this program that's coordinated by Glauber Bix. I'm also helping here. The idea is that the center is going to work not as a closed hub of research, but as a place where other scientists and other companies and other institutions can work together with us to advance the AI and its use in the economy. We are in the process of defining the rules for bringing external partners and members. We and also start to be very active in talking to universities, companies. We want government, we want NGOs to participate. We're already in conversation with some of them. But also a part of the goals of this program is to engage with the startup ecosystem, because we know that they are among the most active users of AI. And we are going to start doing that using the channels of the University of São Paulo, but the goal is to expand that. And the way we believe this is going to be possible, because we will try to work as much as possible in an open source and data culture, and work to put as much infrastructure for AI, which means often data sets and code, to put it out there, so the maximum number of the economic agents can use it and can advance the impact and the the value that can extract from this technology. We are also we'll be working with the different groups that are looking into how of creating an AI roadmap for Brazil. This is part of what the Impact program is going to do. And to do that, a fundamental part of it is to be part of already of an ecosystem, and that's why we chose to be hosted by Inova USP, which is a great initiative of the University of São Paulo in terms of creating a very collaborative and a vibrant space for innovation and science. And for that, we will have a short speech by the director of Inova USP, Luiz Catalani.
Hi, let me just say one thing. Professor Vahan had just arrived. So I use the opportunity. Before Professor Catalani speaks, I will pass to our president, Professor Vahan. Please, thanks a lot for coming.
Good morning, everyone. And I'm terribly sorry I'm late, but as you know, I have another appointment with the boss, so I was in the palace of the governor. But I couldn't miss this opportunity and to join this meeting, because it's really a very important event today. For the University of São Paulo, it's really institutional achievement. As everybody knows, that University of São Paulo, through its Provost of Research, decided to invest in artificial intelligence projects. And to do so, we decided to join efforts of different groups and to encourage different groups to work together. And that was a major achievement of our university. Then we thank very much to IBM and FAPESP for this support. As we thanks with this support, it will be possible to organize and to give the starting kick-off of this center. And let's say we are very proud to get the support, and we are very proud to do a very strong research activities in this subject. And my congratulations to all of the researchers, the faculty members, and once again, this is an institutional initiative, institutional project. And I'm sure that we go further, and I'm sure that University of São Paulo will answer this support with a very good results. Thank you very much, and good luck to everyone.
Well, thanks a lot, Professor Vahan. It's a pleasure to have you. Let me just then go to Professor Catalani. First, let me use the moment to thank the presence of Dr. Demi Getchko, Director-President of NIC.br, who's here. And let me pass the floor to Professor Catalani, please.
Good morning. Hi, good morning, everyone. Fabio, Claudio, my good friends. It's really a great honor to be part of this inauguration today. For Inova USP is a very special and very significant day for the University of São Paulo Innovation Center. Just give you some facts about Inova USP. Our own inauguration was only a couple of years behind, so we are a very young structure. Therefore, IBM is one of the first companies to be part of this enterprise. Many others are on the way to be included. Inova USP was built to be the front end of the university innovation system. Our mission is to connect and foster partnerships of USP with entities from the private or public origin, either national or international. We seek to provide our partners with a rich, multi-user environment for collaborative activities and a commitment to the development of research and innovation. Our strategic vision is to grant easy access and help mobilize the best teams and the infrastructure of the university to ensure the execution of complex and multidisciplinary projects. We also aim to lead our students of all levels in entrepreneurship mentoring activities, boost their creativity and inventiveness through tutoring. So, Inova USP is not about a space. Inova USP is an idea. We represent all the 42 units of the University of São Paulo. We represent here all the 6,000 staff professors of the university. And I guess they'll all be at the IBM project service of the C4AI Center. This inauguration, its physical space within the Inova USP, is an important mark, not only because it creates a powerful connection with a world leader company in digital technologies, but it sets USP at the very center of artificial intelligence arena in Brazil and in South America. I truly believe that C4AI will be soon a reference in this continent. So thanks FAPESP, thanks IBM, all the partner unities, and I really wish all the success to the C4AI, and hope that everybody comes and visits the C4AI at the Inova USP. Thanks, Fabio.
Thanks, Catalani. We now go to Bruno Fleck. Claudio, do you want to call Bruno and present him?
So I just want to bring to this conversation Bruno Fleck. He's the director of IBM Research Brazil, our lab here, my boss also, and he's going to talk to us a little about how the center is aligned with our lab in Brazil and with IBM Research. Thank you, Bruno.
Thank you very much, Claudio. Thank you, Fabio. Dear all, good morning, afternoon, evening. I'm not sure where all of our audience comes from, so let me cover all bases. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizers, and particularly Fabio and Claudio, for the ceremony. This is certainly not what we would have envisioned a year ago, and I'm sure we're all eager to see each other, to shake hands, and share the excitement over what will be a landmark for the development of AI in Brazil. But given the constraints that we now find ourselves in, this has been a great experience, and I'm sure you all share that excitement with me. I don't want to take too much time. It's hard to follow such excellent speakers, but I do want to quickly touch on 3 topics, and I'll get to what Claudio had just mentioned, that I'm sure we're all united around in the vision for the center going forward. The first is how this collaboration and joining of forces will help Brazil to advance scientific progress in this broad area of artificial intelligence. This is obviously no small undertaking, but it is one that we're very confident in, given the extremely high level of professors, researchers, and all staff involved. The second aspect relates to how we also fundamentally believe that this collaboration, as pointed out, for example, with the creation of an industry advisory board, will help us pave the bridge between basic science, academic research, and material business impact, helping local industries and companies to innovate and advance their services and offerings here in Brazil, and also hopefully in a larger global stage. And finally, last but not least, the third is about people, right? This is where it starts and it is where it ends. So we hope and we'll work very hard to make sure that the center is a catalyst for the development of students, of researchers, and professionals that will help Brazil thrive in this dynamic, very much evolving set of circumstances of the present and of the future, which is now being built on top of the exact kinds of technologies that we'll be working on here. As Claudio mentioned, everything about the research agenda for the center is very much aligned with the focus areas that we have globally across IBM research, but particularly for us here in the Brazil lab, as we are a part of the 3,000-person organization across the globe, and we're very much eager to help, as I mentioned before, advance the science and make progress in these very areas that have been defined here jointly as grand challenges for the center. Thank you all very much, and I hope to see you all very soon.
All right, thanks. So we'll go back to our presentation. Thanks, Bruno. Maybe Claudio will take that so we can continue. So we have decided to focus on a number of selected research challenges that are based on broad and ambitious goals, so as to better organize our resources in the most efficient way. Okay. So we have 5 great challenges, which we'll go through in a minute. They are challenges that have been developed through a long process, a lot of debate. They are challenges that are strategic to Brazil and IBM. They are challenges that take upon modern AI and ML, machine learning research problems. They are also problems where we have critical mass of researchers and resources so that we can actually make a difference, where we also have possible engagement of IBM researchers, areas where IBM has expertise, a world-class expertise, in fact, where we have scientific competitiveness, so we can actually go to the top. We also try to go for creative, innovative challenges that are a little different, and not just following the mainstream, and that can foster a community around them. So the process of getting to these challenges was an interesting one. I'll let Claudio explain what happened.
So one of the first things we tried to innovate in this center was the way we constructed the research agenda. We wanted the center not to be about a group of small projects, but large-scale initiatives, the great challenge that Fabio referred to. But to do that, we had to work together with the faculty of the University of São Paulo. And in IBM, what we proposed is to do this the building of the research agenda through a design thinking process. And this was new for most of them, especially in that context. But we had a lot of support. We had more than 80 faculty involved. This was coordinated by Raquel Shebab, who did an excellent job here. We generated 20 initial great ideas that could be developed by the center. Then through some months of work by different teams, this was grouped together into 5 challenges. Part of this is an effort from us in IBM and from the People University to create new ways of doing science in the university, a new culture university. It was very interesting that one of the professors who was there said this is the first time that he saw something like that happening at USP, a group of professors working together hard to find common research ground and put together their work so they can be more competitive and more efficient in terms of research. Before we go through a very brief explanation of these 5 different lines of research, I would like to invite people in the YouTube channel to post questions about the center, about the structure, about the initiatives we talked about, and of course about the research challenges that we are going to describe now. We will address those questions at the end of this event, so we can have a conversation with this great audience we are having.
All right, so we will go through the challenges quickly. The first one is to bring natural language processing for Portuguese to state of art. The focus of this challenge is to have open data and open tools that enable high-level processing of natural language text and speech in Portuguese. Okay, the technical leaders, the principal investigators are Marcelo Finger and Thiago Pardo. Sandra Luiz is also participating in the construction of this challenge, but the focus is exactly what I just said, is focusing on structural research resources for Portuguese, both for text and speech. Okay, the next one is a challenge that is related to more climate and environmental resources. The idea is to use knowledge-enhanced machine learning to reason and to answer questions about ocean data. The focus is to merge data-driven learning and knowledge-based reasoning so that you can have an agent that can answer complex queries about the Blue Amazon. The Blue Amazon is the large part of the ocean that lies at the Brazilian coast. It's called Blue Amazon. We want the leaders here are Eduardo Tanuri and myself. We plan to combine data-driven machine learning, knowledge-based presentation learning to answer questions about the resources in diversity, minerals, energy that lie in the Blue Amazon. The next one is related to health. It's the title is Graph-Oriented Machine Learning for Stroke Analysis and Rehabilitation. The focus is to improve stroke diagnosis, treatment, and rehabilitation using techniques from machine learning that use graphs. So it's graph-oriented machine learning on multimodal data, so data coming from several different streams. The leaders are Professor Zhao Liang and José Krieger. So they have, just to summarize, they're applying graph modeling together with optimization statistical learning on very large heterogeneous and dynamical sources coming from all different areas of health. And they are developing new machine learning techniques to identify most relevant stroke biomarkers. So that's the key result. The next one I'll let Claudio describe. Please, Claudio.
So this research challenge focuses on causal decision making using multiple criteria, and that's related to food supply networks. This is a challenge that combines the strengths and talents of many people in our two campi in the interior of the São Paulo state. There's some people in São Carlos, people in Ribeirão Preto. This is led by Alexandre Delben and Antonio Saraiva. And the idea here is to look into the food supply chains, especially the ones that involves produce fruits and mostly small farmers, and see how we can improving the decision-making process for this kind of change. There's a lot of work on the commodity side of agriculture, soybeans, corn. This is going to focus more on the food side, and this is much more difficult than the traditional commodities, because this kind of food quickly perishes, is very local, is a very complicated chain. And but in terms of AI, what they're going to look and say is, can we improve the decision-making process, the planning process of those chains, using probabilistic graphs and causal, and this very important new area that's causality inside AI, because the traditional ways of doing AI do not work too well for this kind of change. So it's a great example of a research challenge addressing a very important problem with very interesting new techniques. We all know that that AI is likely to have profound impacts in the society, and especially in terms of how people work, about employment, and so on. So we have one challenge that's led by Professor Glauca Brix and Professor João Paulo Veiga, who are going to look into these issues under the context of an emerging country like Brazil. There's a lot of people saying things about the impact of AI in Brazil. There is very little data, very little scientific work, and the goal of this challenge is really to bring more science to this debate, to this conversation. But so they're planning to doing work like analyzing job search strategies, recruitment policies, and the data associated to that, and understand how the new skills required by AI are impacting this in the case of the computer industry. There's also going to be work on looking into biometric techniques, which we know have generated a lot of controversy in many situations around the world, and look at what would be a sensible regulatory framework for Brazil. But more important is they are going to be working to develop this debate about corporate ethics, about regulation, self-regulation in the context of the AI industry, and especially to look at that from the point of view of an economy like Brazil. This challenge brings people from the economics departments, from social studies departments. It's a very multidisciplinary challenge, and we hope with this challenge we can sort of elevate the level of discussion about this in Brazil. So this is a summary of the 5 challenges of the leaders. We are still putting putting together the final touch on this. There is a lot more information about those challenges in our website. Please visit there. There will be soon calls for scholarships for postdocs, for masters associated with these challenges. And I just want to say one more thing about that before we move on, is saying, besides our scholarships, we want other students and other researchers to work together with in the center. The center is much more than just the people who will get the scholarships and so on. Please reach out in our website. There are contact emails for each of those challenges. If you're interested, contact someone. We'll answer you and we'll interact with you from there.
All right, so just let me stress that interested people, please send messages and use the address in the website so that we can reach out and get collaborations working. To finish, we'd like to present short messages from 3 institutions that have been associated with the C4AI since its very inception: the Instituto Tecnológico de Aeronáutica, ITA, Pontifícia Universidade Católica São Paulo, PUC-SP, e Centro Universitário FEI. They have sent short videos, which we'll now present.
Olá, gostaria de parabenizar a USP e a FAPESP pela criação do Centro de Inteligência Artificial, com a participação de várias instituições, dentre elas o ITA, por meio dos professores Carlos Henrique, Paulo André e Ana Lorena. É um orgulho para o ITA fazer parte dessa iniciativa, envolvendo nossos alunos, nossos professores, nossas pesquisas, que são de interesse da Força Aérea Brasileira, das empresas aeroespaciais de São José dos Campos e de todos aqueles que têm interesse no assunto. Parabenizamos, então, a todos os desenvolvedores, desejamos sucesso e contem conosco para o sucesso desse empreendimento.
My name is Lúcia Santaella. I'm the director of the Master and PhD program in Technologies of Intelligence and Digital Design at São Paulo Catholic University. This program was founded in 2006, and its scope is to investigate the relationships between humans and technologies. The focus of our work is on the cognitive transformations provoked by the technological advances. It's not by chance that from 2017 on, our field of research has expanded to artificial intelligence. Today, we have near 30 students, including postdoc researchers, working on this field, especially on the social impacts of AI in education, law, health, and the ethical challenges of AI. My university is very proud of being part of this consortium, which promises to be a center of excellence of AI in Brazil.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear Professors Vahan Agopyan, Sylvio Canuto, Marco Zago, Luiz Eugênio Mello, and dear Ana Paula Cis from IBM, personally and representing FAPESP, I would like to congratulate everyone involved in the Center for Artificial Intelligence that starts its activities now. Artificial intelligence is one of the priorities at FAPESP also, and here we work in the fields of machine learning, computer vision, intelligent robotics, service robotics, and healthcare, for example. Several important projects based on AI have been developed recently in our institution, such as the recognition of pain in newborns using computer vision, the analysis of medical images for early detection of Alzheimer's disease, very interesting project also, as well as some applications of artificial intelligence in mobile robots and intelligent humanoids that interact with humans, which is coordinated, for instance, by Professor Reinaldo Bianchi, who will be part of this research center as an associate investigator. In this way, with great pleasure and pride, I wish a huge success for the center, and I am sure that the many projects, publications, and prepared professionals we expect will remarkably benefit São Paulo and also Brazil. So count on faith, count on us, and once again, congratulations.
All right, so we're getting to the end of the presentation. I think there is just a summary slide. While we will take a look at the summary slide, let me just acknowledge and thank the people who worked hard for this event. First, my colleague Fernando Osorio, the outreach coordinator, Jairo Carlos Filho, the management person in the center from USP, and Alexandre Alves, the management guy from IBM, who's helping a lot. Also, Gabriela Perroni, who's managing the technical stuff behind the presentation. Reinaldo Mizutani, Silvia Bonassa, who presented the authorities. Adriana Cruz, Juliana Setembro, who helped with the press. Marcelo Melete and João Carlos da Silva, who helped with press and organization from the FAPESP side. And Andrei Coins, who produced a lot of the design material. Thanks to all of them. So you see here a summary of what we just went through, the numbers and the challenges. That's what we wanted to say. Thanks a lot. We'll have time now to answer some questions and look at the chat. Claudio, do you want to say some words, final words? Or?
No, I mean, thank you again for everyone who stayed until now. I think now we are going to be open for questions. We already selected some questions from the chat. There's a lot of people, so we are mediating this through the chat. I think we are very excited by the opportunities we are opening here. I started working in AI 35 years ago at USP. It's great to see something of this size happening at the university, and working with a lot of my colleagues of that time who are also students of that time, like Fabio and other people from the PIs. But what I would ask for people interested in is to follow us in the social media. There's going to be a lot of communication, especially before we open the physical space. A lot's going to happen through there. Also, people who want to engage in the challenges, please contact the PIs or through the channels we have. Our goal here is to bring people, to organize the community, and to do great research together that can impact the scientific community of AI in Brazil and the society as a whole. And I just want to make one last reminder that we have our official first activity next week, October 22nd, with a great presentation from David Cox, as I mentioned before. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. So we're done with the presentation. So let's look at the questions. We will read a few questions that sort of touch on important issues for as long as we have time. So the first question is from Guilherme Fernandes: how students can join C4AI? Well, let me just repeat what Claudio just said. Look at the social media. We'll have announcements. We have scholarships that will be announced. But also, if you are just interested, just want to discuss the matter and maybe you want to collaborate as a student, send a message to c4ai@usp.br. We'll try to accommodate your desires to help. Okay. So the second one, I guess, Claudio may want to.
Yes. I have this question from Nikolai saying, if we're in plan, do we plan to include risk analysis tools in AI and machine learning problems? And he's offering help, what's great, CP and CAI. One challenge that's going to look into that in detail is the agriculture challenge, risk analysis, and is part of what they want to do there. Okay, and we know it's a very complicated area, but it's something that's part of the scope of that challenge.
Yeah, and also we have a number of people from CMI in the center cross collaborating. So we'll be sure to look at CMI as a source of expertise. There are two questions, the related questions next. So from Paulo Sahen, how can industry practitioners and researchers not associated with the main sponsors contribute and work together with C4AI in concrete terms? So these two questions from Paulo. And congratulations, great initiative, so thanks for that. Well, I guess get in touch. We will discuss possible collaborations. We'll have to maybe get some intellectual property discussed, but get in touch, we'll discuss. We are interested in creating a network of people in this area.
Yeah, I just would like to add that for scholarships, there are some restrictions that comes from the mandate of FAPESP that the students have to be affiliated with institutions in the state of São Paulo, but they not to be restricted. They don't need to be restricted to USP in terms of scholarships. And but I would totally corroborate Fabio's words. Talk to us, and we'll be hearing more about us as we put in more concrete terms the plans to bring in other partners to the center.
All right. So Marceito asks, so the center will work only on 5 challenges for now. Okay. How can we propose other projects? I guess, well, talk to us. We'll try to organize things in the most efficient way so we do not get scattered into many small projects. Of course, if you have a big project, please, we can discuss having a new challenge or a group. Talk to us. At this point, we're looking at 5 challenges so that we can do things more efficiently.
One thing I'd like to stress that when we chose the great challenges, those are themes that are focused on both solving a real problem and in advanced AI research. So we are the center. We don't see the function of the center as applying AI in in the way it's practiced today and the sort of industrial AI to solving problems. There's a lot of other companies and institutions that can do that. We'll be working. The challenges, they both push the state of art of AI, and they apply AI to problems which cannot be solved with the technology today. And that's the kind of synergy that we are looking for in the challenges. And this doesn't mean that we're going to help other people, but the focus of the center will be around that kind of project.
Also, there's a related question. Just let me go to a related question from Guilherme Fernandes. For how much time C4AI will put efforts into these challenges? Well, we have a plan to get reviewed. Periodically, we will have a review in 2 years, and then in 4 years, and then in 7 years. Okay, So in principle, we are planning in the long term, and we are tackling challenges that are difficult enough that they will not be solved in 2 months and in 1 year. So they will take some time, but of course we will review the whole process in 2 years, and we may make changes at that point. Okay, our plan, we have a yearly plan, and then a review in 2 years. The center is open to students of any university. Well, you have to be associated with a researcher who is associated with the center. Okay, so if you are in another program, talk to us. You may find interested people in the center who may be interested in collaborating with you. Yeah, Claudia, please.
So Renata is asking, how can researchers and professors from USP take part in any research challenge? Maybe the short answer is talk to those PIs, contact the PIs. They are the ones leading those efforts. Okay, if you go to the website, you see there's already a group, a community around each of these challenges. You may also know some people in this community. You should try to connect to them, but our goal is that the PIs of each challenge really are the leaders of that effort.
Yeah, let me explore this question a little bit more, because I think it's a great question. So we have what I think are really challenging, excellent projects, and we plan to have, we have resources, and we plan to use those resources to create an infrastructure, to get data, to get knowledge about them. So if you're a researcher who is interested in collaborating, please come, please help us. I think it will be great to everyone, to us and to you, okay? Because you will have the infrastructure from the center, but we need hands, we need brains, we need those challenges to lead to fruitful research and results, okay? So thanks. If you're interested, please help us. I think there's one more question.
Oh, the great Artur Ziviani. Hey, great to see you there. How we can collaborate with other institutions not located in the state of São Paulo? We'll be working the next months to see how we can put together collaborations between universities and other institutions which are not in São Paulo state. There are some legal restrictions in terms of money. But we will also be working on trying to bring more money to the center, more funding from other sources. And maybe those sources don't have the limitations that we have now with the fundings we have, okay? And let me stress, of course, that collaboration is more than funding. It's about exchanging ideas. And we really want to be close to the community of AI in Brazil, and in fact, we are taking together the next step. The opening talk, the opening seminar will be held together with the scientific community in AI. There will be a joint event with the Brasis, which is the most important scientific AI event in Brazil. So that's how we start our work together. We are also hoping that we can do more direct work by signing and establish partnerships with some of the other great research centers of computer science AI in Brazil.
Okay, thanks, Demi. Well, I guess
there is one more question, which is easy.
We went through the questions.
Do you have a GitHub? We will. Follow us.
We do have one internal one. We'll
open.
More people joining soon. Okay. Thanks, Ruben. Yes.
So the question is, do you have resources to get exchange research students from outside of Brazil?
We have postdoc scholarships. Okay, so if you have a someone of PhD who's interested in coming and joining one of these challenges, we will have a call for announcing scholarships that will take care of those with a PhD. We don't have resources for exchange students per se, even though the University of São Paulo has programs that we can use from copies, and there are other resources we can explore. So it's never a problem to ask. If you want to join the challenges, please do, and we will try to accommodate.
And let me take the opportunity just to say one thing that we left out is that, and when you talked about research students, exchange students, it reminded me of, we'll be working also with a community of artists and designers of USP called Gaia, who are interested in, who have been already for some time discussing and looking to how to apply AI in art and design. This is part of the efforts of the group, and we plan to work together with them and to really have the center as inclusive as possible, for not only for different diverse groups, but also for different scientific and knowledge communities in USP and Brazil.
And thanks to Maria Cristina. This is a nice message, because Maria Cristina is the director of the Institute of Mathematical Science and Computers, a unit that has helped a lot. Thanks, Maria Cristina. Yeah, well, thanks, Jaime.
Thank you, Jaime, yeah. And thank to everyone. I think we're
done. Thanks a lot. I think we're covered all the ground we want.
And please follow us on Facebook, in LinkedIn, and come to our website for more information. Thank you.
Bye-bye.